Hi everyone, Wolf Branch Homestead here. Out this evening with the goats while they browse. They've made their way behind me now, but we've still got a pretty scene out here in front of us. It's a big contrast from yesterday. We had a lot of storms on and off, and it was much needed. We haven't really had too much rain. We went back to having warmer temperatures, and then we had a lot of showers yesterday, just some big downpours, and it would slack off. And, um, even though kind of tough to drive in and you have some leaks here and there, you've got a little bit of standing water in places that day. Just very grateful we did have some rain. And, it's really pretty out now, clear skies right there through the trees in the middle. You see kind of a goldish red color, and that's the sun going down and illuminating the few oak leaves that are up there left. Looking around at how bare everything else has pretty much gotten, and we're about to have another cold snap. But tomorrow is Thanksgiving here in the United States, and I know opinions vary about that day and the title of it, and there's other people that watch the channel that don't celebrate. You might be in a different country, or again, there are varying opinions about it. But at the heart of it today, in this time, for me personally, it's just a time of gratitude, acknowledging that the history associated with this day is difficult, but mainly taking a moment to say some of the things we're thankful for. I think it's important to try to keep that mentality every day. I think especially if you're anything like me and you have a difficult time with, maybe feeling a little depressed at times, maybe feeling down, your emotions are just kind of getting the best of you. I think it's important to take a moment to sit down and just instead count the good things. That's one thing I've been, at the top of the list. I'm grateful for my husband. And that's one thing that over the years that he's really helped me to see and understand is you can sit there and dwell on the bad things and the negative things, but there's also good sides to it. There are good things out there, especially like here lately. Got a little bit down thinking about the sweet cattle dog, missing her a lot, and just wishing things at the end had been a little bit better for her. And he was really quick to turn it around and say, she had a great life. She had a fun life. She did a lot of cool things that other dogs would never get a chance to. And it's gotten over the years here now where, it was a little more difficult in the beginning, but now I can go back and look at pictures and videos of her, and they're happy tears because I realized, wow, she got to hang out with so many animals and run out here in the woods, down this very trail. I'm fortunate to still be able to make myself upset here. Like I said, in a good way though, but I'm very fortunate to be able to go down this same trail, places where she walked and ran all the time, and I still, even though she's not right here in front of me, she is in my mind. And there's another thing, I'm very grateful that she was in our lives. I'm grateful for that our marriage, she was there, and that she's got this connection not only to us and the land, but to the other animals. We've got back here behind us, Yusuke is my little connection to her, our other puppy dog, but especially Yusuke because he learned so much from her as he grew up, and he acts like a little puppy dog, and I think that really kept her kind of hanging in there at the end. I think she knew he needed some help before he went outside and joined the big goats. But grateful for all the time we had with her and for the big part she played here. The lessons from her, especially, not only the gratitude and loyalty of a rescued dog, but how fun she was, how, she protected her home, she loved her animal friends, she got along with pretty much everything except for gopher rats and squirrels. And just seeing how special she was and how much she blossomed and opened up throughout the years, learning from her about making sure that you don't have regrets with your animals, that you spend more time with them, involve them in a lot more, celebrate all the moments together, and just being thankful for her, using her life and the time she was with us, and using her memory to in turn, encourage other people to adopt animals and spend more time with them, to continue to spend more time with her friends. It's, it's kind of hard to word, but just, grateful for her. Grateful for our other puppy dog who just somehow celebrated his 11th birthday, which is wild to think about. And you'll often hear him, I'm thankful for another year of in the background of the hummingbird streams, because all the hummingbirds getting ready for bed lined up about the same time as he would go on his walks. And so we're used to hearing him, kind of howling in the background, and thankful for another year with him. And it's hard to believe it's been that long already. Thankful for these crazy goats behind us. They can be pretty stubborn at times, but for the most part, compared to some goats, especially some, I've known in the past, like my grandmother's herd, these are some crazy intelligent goats. The fact that they know so many cool skills. That's one thing, reflecting back on our other puppy dog. She taught me so much about behavior and training and everything. And even you can go as far back before her to my very first rescued kitty cat. And she was the first, sorry, I hear a bunch of noise in the background out there, but she was the first animal I actually ever trained. And you can look at how her inspired me to train other animals like the dogs and the cats. And then eventually how, I'm thankful for Chicken Hawk. We had about 2/3 of the year with her. I can't believe she was as old as she was. I really thought she'd live forever, but just grateful we got a little more time with her. Got to celebrate another birthday with her. And thankful for her entire life. She might have just despised other chickens and ducks and everybody. She was so old here at the end that she kind of just had to tolerate it. She couldn't get around like she used to, or she probably would have beat them up. She was really sassy. But thankful for Chicken Hawk, because she's the first animal outside of dogs and cats that I ever trained. And in turn, and thankful for her because that led to training other animals. So training the goats, training the ducks, training other chickens, training the turkeys. And her impact of that one chicken, inspiring that, led to teaching other people about it. And I hope that it's impacted somebody else and their animals out there and helped them consider positive reinforcement training. And again, that led to the goats, training them. And Yusuke, I'm especially grateful for him because I wasn't quite sure if he was going to make it when he was born. finding him, you know, he was born early, finding him, no clue how long he'd even been out here because it was first thing in the morning. Then mama not taking care of him, not letting her milk out, so having to bottle feed him and just being so frantic, so nervous about it. And here we are celebrating, you know, we've celebrated another birthday with him. And I'm grateful for him and how he reminds me of not only our healer, but, you know, his training, because again, Chicken Hawk inspired me to train everybody else, and that led to teaching him. And he knows the most stuff out of everybody because, you know, I was so impressed by his intelligence that I wanted to teach him things that dogs know. You don't hear of things outside of really like canine disciplines of other animals learning focused heel. Now, he's not an expert at it, but he does really well. And again, that's things that I'm grateful for with him, because we can share that with other people and hopefully again show people how intelligent they are and that they can learn these things. Thankful for getting our ducks and our turkeys this year. Like I said, Chicken Hawk was a little bit slow on the go, or I think she really would have gave them an even harder time, but she did stay with us long enough for them to grow up and all move in together, and she kind of put her foot down as the boss of the flock and helped everybody kind of figure out the literal pecking order. So now they know, thanks to her, what the lineup is, how everybody's kind of in charge, and they kind of keep their separate ways, respect one another. And we have a good little group of ducks. They are just the cutest. You know, this is the first time we've raised khaki Campbells over the years, but these are black Swedish. And they just look like little emo penguins. They're just the cutest thing, and very, you know, well behaved. We've learned a lot over the years about, especially when it comes time for bed, getting them to go into their little house. And a lot of that going back into the positive reinforcement training. We did a lot of that when we were moving them back and forth with their crates to come out here and kind of get used to the area first before they moved into their pen. And positive reinforcement with that helped to make it where going back into their crates or going into their house was not just a big fight or a nervous thing for them, that they do it really well. The turkeys, on the other hand, because they love to roost, getting them down to get in their house is kind of fun. But once you get them down off the top, they're pretty easy to get in there, and thankful for them too, because Mulder, while he is just, he loves to peck at you. He has a little attitude, but he is sweet. He does love his hugs. Haven't heard him gobble yet, so, you know, my husband seems to think, he's like, I wouldn't be against it being a girl. I still really think it's a boy because he does strut around. Here's some rustling out in front of us. We have been seeing a doe, a white-tailed doe here lately with her 2 fawns from this year, and the fawns have gotten really big. We've came across them a few times, and about this time they like to get out here. Also, we might see Woodward. I haven't seen him since our last encounter, but this is about the time when Woodward starts to fly down and walk across the road. Wouldn't that be something if Woodward just flew down in front of us? But, you know, Mulder, he's a good turkey. Scully, she's not as like cuddly with me. She does love to follow me around. She'll talk to me, but boy, she loves my husband and she loves other people. She is so talkative. It's one of those things sometimes where the person taking care of them, they like other people better. And I think that's kind of what it is. She just absolutely loves seeing my husband, and she's so loud, and just, if, like, say if I'm wearing his hoodie or his jacket and she thinks it's him, she'll just go to town. She'll talk and talk and talk. And she realizes it's me and she stops. But I'm glad that they are all just such a good little group. And, you know, our kitty cats, here we are, my goodness, 4.5 years later. How it's been that long already with them. And I've been looking at Mama Pizza here lately, and she's just this tiny little tortoiseshell cat that just showed up as a pregnant youngster, completely feral, didn't want you to touch her, just crazy, kind of aggressive in the beginning, and again, to be expected with a feral cat. Listening in the background here. But you know, realizing that she was 100% feral when she showed up, and now here we are with her babies healthy and happy together with her, making sure everybody got fixed, and we're 4.5 years down the line with her, and now she is the biggest love bug. She's just, she makes her biscuits, she starts to drool sometimes, she gets so happy. Loves being in your lap, loves just being right up against you. Just such a contrast to when she first showed up. And I'm so grateful for her, because going all the way back to my childhood cat growing up, that's what she reminds me of. She lets me just hug on her and love on her, and she reminds me so much of that same personality. And so I reflect on being grateful for her, and also her kittens, you know. Again, it's a shame that we have such an overpopulation, especially in feral cat communities where there are so many of them having babies. And like her, she was very, very young when she had babies. But happy that part of the group found a good home and the rest of the babies stayed here together, and that though they all have their different personalities, they're all just the best. I can't say enough good things about them and how smart they are, how well-rounded, good cats they are. Especially, you know, with their training and stuff like that. They're just so smart. And I'm grateful for another year with them. The goats are kind of making their way back to my left here. It's about time for bed. Sun's going down pretty fast now. We've got some pretty clouds up there, and puppy dog, you can hear him. He's like, I'm ready to go on my walk. It is time. He knows it's that time to go on his walk. You know, here we are. We've rambled for 18 minutes. But again, I want to say how grateful I am for everybody here, for this family, my husband, my mother-in-law, everybody. It doesn't take blood to be family, but I'm very grateful for them. I reflect back on the past and growing up, and I realize if I wouldn't have had the kind of hardships, you know, I say that everybody's got different difficulties, but the things that I went through, if I wouldn't have went through those things and had that kind of upbringing, I wouldn't have been where I am today. And so I'm grateful for everything that led me here, where I love my husband so much. I can't believe we're, you know, going to be celebrating another year of marriage. I can't believe that I get to live here and spend all this time with the animals and have all the experiences that we do. And just very grateful for everyone here. And also, you know, at the end of this ramble, for those of you especially who have stuck around and listened to everything, we're grateful for you. Seriously. We're not a big channel. We don't really have a theme, like we said. We don't post a lot often. We don't post too many long things. We don't always get a chance to stream. But you know, each and every one of you have helped our channel to get to where it is. And even if just one of you enjoys one of the videos and shares with us, I mean, we seriously appreciate you. I think it's important, no matter how big your channel is or how small it is, to just remember the people that are a part of that channel that help it to be what it is. We have so many of you, just good friends made through this channel, people that join us for our live streams and comment. We have some of the best folks, hands down, that join us here. And like I said, it's just some of the nicest comments. And a lot of you that watch our videos, maybe you have your own channel. There's a lot of you that do your own streams. And it never ceases to amaze me how many of you are so nice that have your own channels, and how everybody kind of shares each other's live streams and videos and stuff. It's seriously appreciated. The white-throated sparrow is trying to sing back here. They do this little song. I'll try. He's doing part of it. Let's see if I can whistle back to it. Sometimes you can whistle their tune back to them and they'll mimic it. They have a really pretty call. It took me years to figure out who it was making that call, and finally I one day sat down and saw them and saw the bird and realized that's what it was a white-throated sparrow. And they have such a beautiful song. Just like that, there's another thing we're thankful for. There's a lot of you that have helped us figure out different bird species we have here. Maybe I hear something or have a video of something and we ask for your help, and a lot of you have helped us pick out what bird species we have visiting. Like I said, there's a lot of channels that share each other back and forth. What happened? Why are you running? Maybe they saw the deer. Maybe she's about the time she crosses across the old garden and comes this way. And we're also very, very grateful for our moderator, Ginger. Ginger is such a good friend, and I've seen her over the years at different live streams and different channels. Just very excellent at educating people, providing helpful information and timestamps, welcoming people in, just all around being so sweet. And we really appreciate you, Ginger, and want you to know that. And I haven't had much time to catch up here lately, but we really appreciate you, especially when you do get a chance to join us on live streams. And I know everybody really enjoys seeing you, so thank you for all that you do. And again, like we said, just thank you, everybody that watches. Even if, I know that subscriptions and all that, being a part of a channel helps it grow and so on, but I know there's probably a lot of you that aren't on the channel. Just anybody that gets a chance to watch anything, we appreciate it. Not only everybody watching that's been a part of the channel, that's, subscribed, but people that comment, that join us on the live streams. And again, even if you don't get a chance or you don't feel comfortable joining in with the chats or the comments, just watching, seriously, we appreciate you. And when we tell you all that we hope you're having a great day, we genuinely mean it. There's just enough nonsense out there in our everyday lives, so much that can just weigh on our minds and our hearts. And hopefully you feel welcomed here. Hopefully you find a few videos here and there that make you go, wow, or, oh, look at that pretty bird. Wow, I didn't know a goat could do that. That's a silly chicken, something like that. Wow, look at the sky. Hopefully you just find something here that makes you happy while you're watching it, makes you feel welcomed again. Like I said, we do mean it, that we hope you're having a good day. And if it's not so good right now, hope it gets better for you. And again, remember, like we talked about before, as we get into this holiday season, that a lot of people are going to be having a difficult time. So check in on people. You know, invite a friend or somebody, a distant family that maybe doesn't have anyone there for them. You know, try to invite them to do something with you. Be more understanding of those people you see at the restaurant or at the grocery store, at the department store. Be understanding of those people, know how busy it must be for them, and, you know, understand they probably have some things going on in their life too. Just try to be genuinely nice to people. Also, be careful out there as it gets busier, you know, going to see lights, going shopping, things like that. Just be careful, drive safe. And that's it for now. The little solar light has came on. The goats are making their way back to the house. It's time to get everybody tended to. The ducks are quacking, reminding me, hey, I know we ate, but it's about time for bed. They'll need a good cleanup tomorrow since we're getting back to some cooler temperatures. Get their house all fixed up, get them some fresh straw in there. But again, just to kind of wrap it all up, it's just no matter how you feel about this day, for us, it's just a day of gratitude and going to be really happy to spend the day with family. And personally, I'm thankful for all of them. Above all, you know, thankful for my husband. I know I'm not the easiest to deal with at times. I'm a little bit crazy. I think we all are. But I'm very grateful for him. And I love him very much. And I know sometimes he watches our videos, so I love you. And thankful for the homestead here, all of our animal friends. And thankful for you all for watching. Again, like I said, you know, it wouldn't grow like it has without each and every one of you. Not just these milestones of 100 or 1,000, but literally every single person. And like we said, you know, we hope that you're having a good day, a good evening whenever you're watching. Hope the holidays are good for you. We look forward to sharing more with you. Hopefully, eventually we can get back to doing a few live streams, but we are starting to see some more birds coming in now, so we're excited. Hopefully we'll get to share some more bird feeder streams. Can't really stream much else because of lack of service. You have to have like one little specific area, but we'll try to get some more videos, some more goat walks once we get into wintertime, and more videos of all the critters. But we appreciate you all. We hope you enjoyed listening into a little bit of a ramble for Thanksgiving season here. And we're coming to a close on the month of November. Hopefully it's been a good month for you all. And as always, until the next video or live stream, take care, everybody. And sorry the goats weren't over here with us too much. They're just kind of off doing their own thing. We might get Yusuke over here. Let's see if we can get him to come say bye to us. Yusuke. Yusuke, here. Yusuke, here. He said, heck no. He knows better. He knows it's nighttime. He's ready for a little bit of hay. But we appreciate you all. And again, as always, until the next video or live stream, take care.